Live? Yes, I'm live. Oh my goodness, it's so nice to be home. How's everybody? Hope you're doing well. Sound check. Got all my bars. Uh-oh. Already. I got Alex and Squeaky Minky. And can I get 85 subscribers? And Ivan Valentine. Hi, everybody. Yes, you did not read that incorrectly. You did read that correctly. I'm talking about my sobriety. And I already talked about this last week. It was in the middle or towards the end of a live that I did amongst a boat that I was on down in the Kima area. And I was announcing that I'm an official skipper now. I can charter a boat now. And towards the end, I talked about having been a drunk for a long time now. But now, here I am. Tomorrow will be 7 weeks. I'm completely sober, and I could not be more excited about it. And I talked about it. I posted this on my Facebook page 2 or 3 nights ago when I was still in Austin. And I got a humongous, response. And people saying, hey, great, good job. This is something that's not easy to talk about. I would know because I've lived a life for many, many years. And I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't think I was. I was just a guy who was struggling and had, hard times, family court crap, work, you name it. Just use it to go to sleep. And finally, I say that after a while, I've tried like quitting over the years, very unsuccessfully, I guess I should say. But now it's real because normally this time of night, I don't know if y'all can hear the frogs and there's cars going by over there occasionally, but I'm outside. This time of night, I would normally have already been pretty well on the bottle because it's getting close to my bedtime. It is only 8, but I go to bed early, I always have. But now, it's nice. It's real nice being 100% sober. And I guess I just want to talk about it and go from the very beginning. In high school, I think I got drunk maybe twice. I only remember one time at my friend Kevin's house. I think I had 2.5 beers, and then I was barfing in his parents' sink. Yeah, really nice and humiliating. And then started drinking more, as most teenagers do after high school. Started going and doing field jobs, worked with a guy who was older than me, and he always bought us plenty of beer. He kind of finished raising me and basically taught me how to drink. Beer was my go-to. Loved beer. That was my thing. Then I got married and I quit. And pretty much the entire 10 years I was married, we didn't drink at all. Towards the very, very end, I just got into business. We had a big $250,000 house, for a 29, 30-year-old to have a big, nice house and, money starting to come in. The house actually came with a little bar. So I guess we just thought we had to kind of stock it. Then I got divorced, and that's when it really started because I was young, had a little money, had my freedom. I was out doing God knows what, drinking, driving when I shouldn't have been. Stupid. Taking home strippers. I mean, just dumb shit. Dumb shit. I got married shortly thereafter, remarried. And I cut back quite a bit. We had a good time. We would go out on weekends. And then I started drinking a little more during the week, which was strange for me. I pick up a 6-pack on my way home from work. And Miller Lite had these plastic bottles. And it was a 6-pack, but they were 16 ounces instead of 12 ounces. So, I only had a 6-pack, which was really an 8. And that caused a little bit of problems. But my Samantha left. My cousin committed suicide. My grandmother died a week later. And all this happened within a week. And thought my life was going to crap. So I started drinking a little more. Then the whole Parker thing happened, and I cut back quite a bit once he lived with me. Not completely, but then once Parker was taken from me in 2013, that's when it really, really started getting heavy. And I never did back then. I still didn't do the hard stuff, but I did a lot of beer. A lot of beer. Like, it's kind of embarrassing how much I did. And it was because I was depressed, like really, really depressed. That's how it really started. The regular drinking started for me. It was depression. When Parker was taken from me, shit, it's going to start raining. Let's see a few drops. I was enjoying my outside time. If it gets too bad, kids, I'm going to have to go in because I don't want to ruin my computer. But anyways, where's that? Parker, yeah. When that happened, when he was taken from me, I got home. I went home and I got shit-faced drunk, like bad. I couldn't go to work for 2 or 3 days. Finally went to work. That was on a Monday. Parker's taken from me. They moved to San Antonio. But I knew I had to keep my shit together because I wasn't going to miss visitation. I didn't. So I packed up my shit, drove to San Antonio, got an apartment, or not apartment, a hotel down there on the Riverwalk. Spent way too much money, but it is what it is. And I never picked the kids up while I was drunk, and I never woke up in the morning and just had to get a drink. In fact, waking up in the morning, getting a drink was the last thing that was ever on my mind. But once I got past the depression part, see, Blaine he had his shit happen. That was 2017. So about 2016, I'd gotten over the depression, but I had drank every night to deal with the depression, that suddenly I couldn't sleep without it. And so I was happy-ish, or at least I wasn't bitter. And so I drank to go to sleep. And this went on for years, like literally up until 7 weeks ago, other than the times that I'd quit here and there, but I just couldn't get through it. Like, just for instance, when I was thrown in jail for 60 days, I guess that was 2015? That was the longest I'd gone without drinking. And it was suggested to me at the time, hey, Caleb, why don't you just, take advantage of, you've been locked up, you hadn't had it. Why don't you just go ahead and quit? And my stubborn ass, yes, I'm very stubborn. Imagine that. This was my mentality. Looking back, kind of wished I would have just stuck with it. But my mentality was, I'm not going to give those assholes the pleasure of helping me quit something that was destructive to myself. So I just instantly started drinking again. Kind of a celebratory thing. Stupid. I shouldn't have done it. I wouldn't recommend it. But now that here we are, 2020, there's there is no oil field left. I haven't done a field job in 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And so I'm here in this little house out of my 7 acres. And I just thought to myself, you know what? It kind of hurts now. And I don't get any satisfaction. I'm not really sleeping that well anyway. So I decided to quit, and it sucked. I haven't gone to AA. I don't plan on going to AA. I don't really know anything about Alcoholics Anonymous. I've seen it on TV, watching House or Dexter. I've seen it. I know what it's about, and I'm glad it's around. I mean, especially, if it works well for me. I'm going to have to go in. I'm afraid my computer's going to fry. Hang on just a second, y'all. I was really enjoying it out here. It's so nice. But I don't want my computer to fry. Oh, it's so lovely out there. Oh, well, it can just be lovely in here. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let me cover this vent up. It's a little too loud. Anyways, I've not been to AA meetings. I get the general idea what they're about, but I got like I said, the response that I got, especially when I announced it on my Facebook, because it was like a deliberate post, was overwhelmingly positive. It was really, really nice. And I got a lot of private messages, people talking about, you can go try AA, I did this, I did that. And man, if Alcoholics Anonymous works for you, have at it. I think it's fantastic that it's there. But for me, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody, and I'm certainly not judging anybody, but I don't see, and I may change my mind later. I don't know. I'm only 7 weeks into this, so I don't know what's going to happen, but that AA just doesn't appeal to me. And the reason is, personally, this is just me, the thought of drinking fucking alcohol now, just the thought of it just makes me sick. I never was a big smoker. Anytime I got married, they smoked, so I smoked. That was that sort of thing. So my last marriage ended in 2012. So 2013 or 14, I quit smoking, and the smell of cigarettes just makes me almost vomit. I can't stand it. Maybe that's just how my body is. I don't know, but just the thought. I remember obviously what alcohol tastes like, but the thought of it, ugh. But anyway, once you reach a certain age, your body can't handle the carbs in beer. And I started getting this gut, which I still haven't completely got rid of. So I swapped it around. I went to wine for a while, and I was up to a bottle, sometimes 2 bottles at a time. But then with wine comes the sugar. So there's too much sugar there, and I was getting these sugar fits where I'd like get the shakes. Yes, I could go to sleep, but I'd have the shakes. So then I turned to vodka, and vodka or gin mixed with virtually anything. That became my go-to for the last probably year and a half. And then when times are tough, you buy the rot gut shit, and that just compounds the problem. And anyway, I just got sick of it. So I quit. And I smoked or consumed marijuana for about a week. I cannot stand the smell of marijuana. No offense to marijuana people. Like, really, I'm not judging. If that's your thing, I know a lot of potheads. Hell, most of my decent friends are potheads. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it smells. I don't like the way it tastes, because I made some brownies out of it. But the marijuana, the buzz, the feeling that you get, it was enough to get over the DTs at night. It was enough to put me to sleep. I'd have these nightmares, but at least I could sleep. I'd wake up after about 4 or 5 hours, sheets just soaked. I sleep in these white shirts, and they would just be soaked. But after about a week, I was able to sleep a little longer. And so, as much as I can't stand the smell of marijuana, I just said, fuck it. And I just quit that too. And threw away the rest of my stash. And for another week, maybe 2, I could at least go to sleep. But it just tapered off. The night sweats or the nightmares where you'd be sleeping, and all of a sudden I do like this, like all night long without anything. It began to go away. And then within about 3 weeks, what helped me was I watched a lot of House. Like, I've got Amazon and all 8 seasons of House, and each season's got like 24-hour long episodes. I would get in bed like normal, and I'd just drink some water, and I would just watch House as long as I could. And when I felt sleepy, I'd just watch another hour or so until I just couldn't keep my eyes. And then suddenly, the last 3 weeks, like I've been gone for 10 days, literally sleeping in a Motel 6 for the last 10 days, a Motel 6 bed. And when I'm tired, I just lay down and go to sleep, and it's glorious. So maybe that's why AA doesn't appeal to me. I have no desire to go to it because I'm not tempted by alcohol. And again, I'm not judging other alcoholics that do it their way. I suspect without obviously not being a doctor, there's probably different levels of alcoholism. Like people that I've seen people where, they get fucked up, hammered all day long, pass out. And as soon as they wake up, they're hitting it again, pouring in their cereal. I mean, I never was that bad. So maybe there's different levels of alcoholism. I don't know. But for me, this is big to me. This is huge. I realized I'm 43 years old, and my life is statistically half over. My granddad on my mom's side died at about 76. Papa on my dad's side, he was about 73, 74. So, statistically, double my age right now. If I'm 43, that's 86. I hope I can live to 86, maybe 96. And if I can really punish some people by annoyingly staying alive until I'm 106, wouldn't that be great? But I realized this isn't going anywhere. This is, I'm not 25 getting hammered on the weekends anymore. Just wake up the next day like there's nothing and keep going on. It was getting serious. I was starting to feel my gut moving around, and I had these pressure points, and I've always cracked my knuckles since I was a kid, but my knuckles had all my joints just ached. And I guess I was what they call a functioning alcoholic. I've been a field mechanic my whole life, and it got to the point, as I was getting older, I started resenting my job more and more, even though it's the only thing I could do to make really, really good money. But I would use alcohol to deliver. Like if I had a field job 2 hours away and I had to be there by sunup, be there at 7, which means I have to leave by 5. I do the calculations. If I need to leave by 5, I need to be awake by 3:30. Or 3 o'clock, if I need to be asleep by 9, so start drinking at 7, I ought to be good. And that's how I would time it. I'd just get fucked up, hammered, pass out. I'd be hungover, but I guess I just got used to it. I could just get up and go. I'd feel that fog, that constant fog over my face, over your eyes, but I could do my job. I could drive. I could blow into a breathalyzer and be perfectly fine. And that's part of the problem with alcohol. And the reason I think a lot of people do it whenever they're trying to deal with life being shitty is alcohol. Depending on how much you have, within just a few hours, it's water soluble. So it's gone. It's gone out of your system. As long as you wait, again, depending on how much you've had, as long as you wait 8, 10 hours, if you can be done by midnight or 2 a.m, if you don't get popped in the piss test till lunch the next day, you'll be fine. But with marijuana, the THC being fat soluble sticks in your fat, sticks in your hair. And that's the downside of it, is because with marijuana, you can smoke a big fat Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg sized joint, as many as you want in any given day. Your worst thing that happens, you get a dry mouth, you get the munchies, and you sleep. And then you wake up the next day and there's no hangover. The downside is you get popped for the piss test, again, depending on how often you do it. it sticks in your system a lot longer. And that's the shame of it, because some poor old sap with a shitty job and getting fucked over in the family courts, he just wants to go home, go home, relax, smoke a joint or two, smoke a bowl, go to sleep, be prepared and productive the next day. And maybe they only did that, one day, and then 10 days later, they get a random drug test and it's still in their system. Well, how is that possibly fair? It's not. That is why I think over all the other illegal substances, marijuana needs to be legalized, decriminalized, however you want to phrase it, not only on the federal level, but all state levels. I'm not saying people should deliberately get on it, but marijuana is a hell of a lot safer than a lot of other things you could get on. And I have to say it like that because I have to be careful with the YouTube algorithms on what I say. But if you can read between the lines, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, how are y'all? Let me get my glasses. I want to read some comments. My old man glasses. Oh, and for the critics that were whining about my nasty shirts, I found a clearance at JCPenney's. They had a bunch of these white shirts. You got one bag of 6 of them for $20, and got another bag for half price. And I indulged, and now I own 12 brand new shirts. I've got like $30 tied up in it. And look how nice and clean. So all the criticisms that they could throw at me, now they can at least they can't talk about how nasty my shirts are. Funk it yourself. What a lot of people forget. Many people go bananas over smoking weed for a couple of years. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, they do. I don't know why, but they do. Caleb for president. No, thank you. I don't want that job. Back during the Blaine stuff, there were people throwing around Caleb for governor. They made some shirts, and I thought it was cute. I actually thought it'd be kind of cool to run, but no, that's not for me. X-Ray, what's up, Caleb? Connie Thoreau, hey, Caleb, you said you're a Harry Potter fan. Just curious, what house do you think you belong in? I'm in Ravenclaw myself. Well, I think that I would be in Gryffindor, and Sade laughs at me because she says I took a test one time. Maybe I was too drunk back then to realize. I mean, I remember taking the test, and she said I was in Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. I don't even remember. But personally, I think I would be more of a Gryffindor. Certainly not a Slytherin. Nice white t-shirt always works out. Yeah, works for me. What did you miss? It'll be published as soon as I'm done. I'm talking about my sobriety. Well, Becca's here. Thank you so much, Miss Becca, my Whomping Willow. And for those that, well, the Harry Potter people know exactly what I mean by Whomping Willows. Shanna Jackson, you're talking to Miss Becca. I just didn't want to hear about someone who is uneducated on the situation. That's all. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Anyways, yeah. Apparently there's a lot of trolls there because Miss Becca's stomping a bunch of them out. But, okay, now I've got more people coming. From Boring Tea, I've been really wanted to join your streams, Caleb. I've been so interested in your story. Oh, well, nice. Well, welcome to my stream. Do you have any book requests? Hang on. Do I have any book requests? I'm not a gigantic reader. I still haven't even finished all of the Harry Potter books I've got. No, I'm not sure what you mean there. Like, I'm not into a big book right now. I am watching House all over again. I'm back to rewatching season 4. Hi, I'm new to your channel, Mr. Snappy. Davey, just not talking about that. Parker's story's inspirational. Well, thank you. It is. Thank you. I'm glad people. I'm just not going to talk about it. Harv Potts, I've seen every video almost. I'm a huge proponent of yours and your many campaigns. Admire you for what you are. Well, thank you. Shannon Jackson, you seen. Yeah. Oh, it needs to hold still for me. Yeah, you miss it. There were people attacking you, but we stopped them. I don't mind people attacking me. I really don't. Just not going to. People are getting mad at me because I'm not talking about my kids, and I'm just not going to talk about my kids anymore. I've just talked about it until I'm blue in the face, and it's just not going to happen. But yeah, attack me all you want. I've been actually enjoying reading some of the comments on the older videos today and the last few days, actually. People accusing me of all kinds of things. It's really interesting to watch. Sorry if it might be too private. I'm wondering what state you live in. Greetings from Southeast in the Netherlands. I live in Texas, originally from Odessa, Texas, and now I'm in, it's called Conroe. It's about an hour north of Houston. Ryder Payne, you're a good dad. Well, thank you. I'd like to think I am. Keep up the great work and enjoy every minute of your sobriety, Caleb. Do you ever, whatever works for you, brother? Yep, it does work for me. Speaking of being a good dad, I hid my alcoholism from a lot of people, most people actually. I suspect that a lot of people probably knew. Not many people really talked about it, but one, I'll start to say person, but one group of people I never hid any of it from was my kids. They saw it, and I deliberately did not hide it from them. I've told them, especially since they've been older, I'm not proud of what I'm doing. I'm addicted to it. I use it to sleep. I mean, I haven't gone out to like a bar in years. I hate bar scenes. I hate being around drunks. I've been, hammered a few times where I got a little belligerent, but generally speaking, when I'm hammered, I'm chill, relaxed, just like really chill. But I know I get obnoxious. I know I do, but I never hid it from the kids. They knew. And I told them all the time that I'm not proud of what I do, what I've become. In fact, it was actually really embarrassing. And I've always encouraged them not to become what I've become. But I can only apologize so many times, and then I guess I just have to forgive myself and move on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm moving on. And again, I appreciate people sending me the links to AA stuff or whatever. And I don't know, maybe I'll try going to a meeting just to see what it's like. I like trying new things, but I have no desire to drink, so I don't really see any reason why I would want to go to an AA meeting, because I have no desire whatsoever, not even to just sip. I never have really liked the taste of it anyways. And you can dilute any kind of whatever with sugar, which I can't stand sugar. So I've just not, I don't like it. I was born in Dallas, Texas. Haven't really kept up with your channel since the video. What do you do for a living? Until about 5 months ago, I was a Caterpillar diesel engine field service mechanic. Since I graduated high school in 1995, I did about between 5,000 and 6,000 field jobs in my career. And now that that's over with, for various reasons, for one, I'm getting old and I'm tired of it. For two, COVID happened and it shut the oil field down. And three, I enjoy doing my YouTube channel and teaching people how to handle things in the family court. I enjoy talking to people who've been through it. I enjoy encouraging people. I enjoy making my living with my YouTube channel much more than I ever got working as a field mechanic. I liked mechanic work because at the end of the day, I can always see a result. I just got tired of there's so many politics involved. And at one time I was the contractor and I had people working under me, and I figured out real quick I did not want that responsibility. But then you have to subcontract through people, and they're almost always assholes, and you got to kiss their ass, and it's always, you thanks, great Caleb, you did a great job for me today or yesterday, but what did you do for me today? And I'm just sick of it. So my career now this is what I do. I talk to people, I encourage people, I use my experiences, what I've been through, in hopes that people will learn how to not get to the escalation of where my divorce and the family court went to. My goal is to get people to realize, shit, we're getting divorced and the kids hate seeing us fight. We need to stop doing this like this, and we need to get along, because if we can't get along, A, the kids are going to see it, and B, somebody in a black robe is going to decide our fate for us. And trust me, even the best judge in the world is going to give you an outcome that is not going to be the absolute best that you and your soon-to-be ex or your ex would make it. I'm trying my best to teach people that as much as possible. So I hope that answered your question. Don't think you're a good dad. Well, hang on. Shannon Jackson, don't think you're a good dad. Dad, you know you are a good dad because you are. Okay. Am I a good dad or no? I don't know. I'm not sure what you meant there. Gamers, gotta go. You definitely inspire me. I'm 13 years old kid, and I went through the same things your kid went through. From gamer, gotta go. Well, gamers, gotta go. I'm sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, I've heard that 1,000 times from kids your age, but all I can say is hang in there, because it does get better. Davey HD, what do you do? Wait, what? You do what you want. Don't let people control you or bring you down. I'm trying my best not to do that. From Yoda, ooh, I've heard from a lot of people. I've never heard from Yoda. I love your video where Parker goes with you. It describes my home life very well. I'm split between my mom and my dad. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Yoda. I've said this 1,000 times as well. I can only assume my channel stays relevant because every year the family court just seems to not change, and there's a whole brand new crop of 14-year-olds and their parents going through the same mess, and that's the only thing I can think of. Oh, there's Norma Jean Hanks. Hey now, gamer, gotta go. As Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead would say, smile, smile, smile. That's a Jerry Garcia quote? I didn't know that. Boring T, you made your best choice. You could not be there in this position. Diaper pull-ups. Okay, hi, diaper pull-ups. The name some of y'all come up with. Gamer got to go. You're so welcome. Jack 209, if you had to spend time in jail for contempt of court because a judge ordered you to testify against your kids, would you testify against them or go to jail? Go to jail. I'm not testifying against my kids. You know you're a good dad, not just think you are, I think is what it's supposed to mean. Okay, well, thank you. From Jay, I really liked how you handled that whole situation. You're a good man. Well, thank you, Jay. Siamese 89, much love from Switzerland, dude. You are the kind of parent I aspire to be. You keep strong, man. Well, Siamese 89, thank you very much. Love hearing from people from these foreign countries. It still boggles my mind that there's people from all over the world that watch my channel. Memo Cervantes, hi, how are you doing? I'm a lot better now because I'm sober. It's nice. Davey HD, hope you get better. You can only improve from here on out. That's That's the mind I'm trying to keep in. G'day in Kalaka 63 from Australia. Sorry, I always have to do that. Americans are so corny. G'day, mate. I love hearing from my Australian friends. Kawi Sun Pai. Love you, Caleb. You're so inspirational. Love from Canada. And I cannot wait to go to Canada. And I know y'all, the ones that hear this, that have been around a while, I'm a gigantic Anne of Green Gables fan. And Anne of Green Gables was filmed on Prince Edward Island in Canada. And one of these days, I'm going to be there. I don't know how many of you follow me on, I got to sit back for a second. It's hurting my back. I don't know how many of you follow me on my Facebook. I've obviously been railing against the deadbeat Attorney General Ken Paxton for years, even on here. But there is some really, really fantabulous news that has come out since Saturday. Kim Paxton is knee-deep in alligators. I've told all of you he was arrested about 5 years ago and bailed out. He's been out on bail this whole time. Well, now 6 or 7 of his top hand-picked people are they turned on him. They turned him in for being the scumbag that he is, and now the feds are investigating him. And everybody was thinking, all the big talking heads were thinking he's about to quit. And he made an announcement while I was still in Austin that he's not going to quit. And I've talked about it, but oh my God, if once he goes to prison, it's going to be a hell of a shakeup. And I've been trying my best to get my passport back by getting my name cleared. So that person from Canada, who mentioned being from Canada, and I always think of Anne of Green Gables when I hear from Canada and I want to go there. So it's realistic. It could be happening a lot sooner than I thought. I honestly thought it's going to be years, if ever, I was going to get my passport. But now it's looking like the deadbeat Attorney General, that douchebag Ken Paxton's about to go to prison. And another thing is his wife. It looks like she might be going to prison as well. She's a senator, and she's been apparently doing some things she shouldn't have been doing. So there's hard thoughts. Caleb, you're creating change. Remember, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. What matters is getting back up and fight on no matter what. Damn right. Oh, congrats on becoming, well, crud. I assume that said congrats on becoming sober, but it just went by too fast. How do you feel about ACAB? I've been there. I see why people are like that. I have to admit that the 2 cops in the Parker movie were outstanding. In fact, I wouldn't even really insult them by calling them cops. I would much rather call them peace officers. I wish there was a lot more peace officers, a lot more of them. I wish they'd quit being these assholes that beat people up. And basically what those ones are, they're the king's men. And the king's men always do what the king says. And they violate people's civil rights left and right. And I think there's no way, as much as I can't stand modern policing, I'm not naive enough to think that if we just protest hard enough that all of a sudden they're all going to turn their badges in and it's just going to be all. That's not how it's going to work. There's a saying I've used forever. You don't go from point A to point Z without first going through points B through Y. So if we are at point A with a significant number of the population thinking all cops are bastards, I see why they think that. They hadn't been real friendly to me other than that one, those 2 cops in that one video that were great. Other than that, I've rarely ever had a good interaction with cops. So I see why people think that. But I'm also not naive enough to think that they're just instantly all going to hang their badge up, because it's not going to happen. So my approach is I want to encourage more quote unquote cops to stop what they're doing as far as just following orders and have a heart and become peace officers. And if we can at least start there, getting, say, I just, I guess I could say use a percentage. Starting 2021, if we can just convince in the year 2021 to convince 3% of the cops to quit being assholes and become peace officers where they genuinely show up simply to keep the peace, not to have sitting duck cops and zap you for going 52 and a 50 and write you a fucking ticket, not be one of those pricks that says, "Oh, I caught you, your magic sticker and your windshield's out and you owe me $150. If we can convince 3% of them to chill the fuck out and become peace officers, I think that's a huge step in the right direction. And then get it to grow from there, where those 3% kind of, mentor other cops, say brickheads that, you can they can talk to them easier than we non-police can, and just say, "Hey, dude, chill. All right, why don't we get out here and, let's just talk to our community. For Christ's sake, it's just a joint. Just leave the kid alone. All right, it's no big deal. Okay, a kid sold a joint for $20. Big deal. Stop ruining their lives." That's where I'm at with police officers, and I have no idea how popular of an opinion that is. I really don't care, because I have my opinions, and just like everybody else has theirs. All I can do is try to persuade as much people as I can to see things how say. There's a good question. I'm happy to answer from Shanna. How do you sleep now that I've finally quit? Like a baby. I got back yesterday afternoon from Austin after getting back from Kemah on the coast, and I slept I took a nap. I couldn't even make it all the way from Austin to here. I had to pull over and take an hour nap, which is weird because I just literally pulled over in my little bitty car, leaned the seat back, and I didn't think I'd really go to sleep, but I wound up sleeping for an hour in my seat. Then I get home. I fell asleep at 8 o'clock, slept all night long until like 5 this morning, woke up until about 7, went back to sleep for another hour and a half. So this sobriety thing, I'm loving it. I'm on top of the world. I love it. So Shan K. Ray, I hope that answers your question. The terrorist group Antifa is a major problem in the USA. They have a Marxist idea, and they actually want to live by Stalin's belief. I'm not going to disagree with you, but I don't really want to talk about it. I'm not an Antifa fan at all, but I'm not a politician fan either. Okay, did you hear that the cop who killed George Floyd was released from prison yesterday? Really? No, I did not. I usually keep up with stuff like that. I did not know that. RR, could you talk about your experience in jail, what you witnessed, and overall what it was really like in there? From RR. Sure. It sucked. I was in what they call the fishbowl. And well, first, before I got into what most people know as general population, I was in what they call the drunk tank. That's where the intake is. Everybody goes in there, and it's a room about the size of the room I'm in now, like maybe 15 by 15, solid brick wall, solid concrete. There's 2 concrete benches and 1 shitter. And they keep it about 50 degrees in there. And I was stuck in there for almost 48 hours, and it was miserable. And then you get into what they call Gen Pop. And I was in there I was in the first Gen Pop with everybody wear brown clothes, just brown pull-on shirt and brown pull-up breeches. And then within about a week, I made what they call a trustee. And a trustee, we got to wear the green and white striped pants and shirt, and they called us peppermints. And a trustee is somebody who gets to go cook. There's 2 levels of trustee. The orange jumpsuits, they could go cook, but they couldn't leave the compound. And for the ones that were in for nonviolent crimes, people like me, civil contempt of civil court, we got to be the trustees where we could go out and pick, like, for instance, one day or a couple days, we'd go out, we went out and got some real sunshine. And for like 3 hours, we got to pick up brass at the shooting range. You know, I hate to say I got to, but I got to get out and go paint the old jail, which is located on like the 5th floor of the Ector County Courthouse. And that was really, really creepy because they abandoned the whole floor, and it was disgusting. Oh my God, the shitters were disgusting, but we cleaned it all and painted it. It was gross, but at least we got to like get out of the fishbowl. And the fishbowl is where most of us stayed most of the time. There's like 30 or 40 people in one room, all bunk beds, all steel beds bolted to the ground, and 3 walls that are concrete. The ceiling was concrete, the floor is obviously concrete, and one wall was just solid bulletproof glass that all the guards walked by, constantly walking by. And that's the reason they call it the fishbowl, because we were the fish and they were the. I'm connected. Can y'all hear me now? No. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Yes, yes, yes. We have a connection. I can see. Yep. Yes, I can. Well, I was just talking about where the jail. Maybe I just need to stay in here in my living room. I'll turn this light on. Here in my rocking chair. Maybe that'll help the connection. I'm just shooting the shit now. So answering questions. I got off my chest what I want to get off my chest. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about politics. So anyway, jail sucked. And one of the hardest part of things that pissed me off is all the trustees I was in there with. Every single trustee got a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, or some even got a 5-for-1. In other words, for every 5 days or every day they served, they got 5 days credit. Everybody except me. I was the only one that had to do my full 60 days, and that's because of the douchebag sheriff that we used to have there in Ector County. He was in bed with all the judges and across all the. It's just a mess. I've talked about seeing Judge Whalen in the supermarket before. I had London with me and him cowing down and hauling ass. I was going to try to put my camera in his face and talk to him. I saw that sheriff a couple of times actually, and one time was in the feed store, Tractor Supply. And what was that douchebag? Mark Donaldson. I saw Mark Donaldson, the man who sold his Christian soul to Satan himself. He's the one that would not let me out early like he did everybody else. I saw him in Tractor Supply, and it was right at the church, and I was, dressed like this. And he was all in his tie and his cowboy hat and his goofy handlebar mustache, Mr. Cowboy. He saw me and just did not want to talk to me. I just thought, you coward. You bloody coward. Let's see, where are we at? I wish I could be a positive person, take pills for depression, and I won't lie. I'm 11. My parents swear, so I don't mind it. Trust me, I'm way more mature for my age. It's okay because it makes me me. Well, you be you for sure, but easy on the pills. I have to say this. I hope an adult, is aware of what you're doing there, kid. CV memes. I'll never forget the video about Parker defending his rights video. Well, I'll never forget it either. I wished I could sometime, but let's see. Becca, you real talk need to leave? Huh? Can you react to my song? Why so serious? I'm not sure what song you're talking about. Is this your opinion on the privatization of the American prisons, or do you think it should be in government hands so they can't
commercially profit from it? That is actually a really good question. Funk it yourself. Let's weigh that. You've got the private prisons. Okay, if you're a private prison, you've got your capital. You invested in a bunch of bricks and steel bars and electronics, hire a bunch of cops with guns and put perimeter fences around. You've got an investment, so you have to have customers, also known as prisoners. So that creates a problem of an investment needing a profit to pay all its bills and a return. If you don't have enough prisoners, then what tends to happen is you get in bed with lawmakers and make more things illegal, and you in order to get prisoners. Well, obviously that's a horrible thing. On the flip side of that, you've got private or public prisons, government-run prisons that don't have to show any kind of profit. They're not necessarily interested in getting more prisoners for the sake of meeting the bottom line. However, they are taxpayer funded, and then if you're like me, you realize that taxation is theft, and that's how government prisons are run, with tax money. So that's a really good question that, I'll be quite honest with you, I don't have an answer to, because both scenarios suck. There's some people that say just abolish all prisons. I guess you could, but then again, all right, what do we do with the murderers? What do we do with the rapists? What do we do with the pedophiles? I think I know what most people would like to do with the pedophiles. That wouldn't be that hard, actually. Just kind of handle it. They kind of go bye-bye. And nobody misses them because they're fucking pedophiles. But that's a good question. I enjoy talking about stuff like that. What do you do? How do you? Because some people like Ken Paxton deserve to go to prison. So, when did you start drinking, Caleb? From Jack 209. I really started. I had fun in my 30s, but I really started drinking really hard when Parker was taken from me, and that's when I entered my depression. And that my deep depression lasted 2 to 3 years. The deepest of the deep depression, I was a misogynist. The only female human being that I did not hate was my own daughter, London, and I genuinely hated all women. I was bad, and I see again where the MGTOW people, why they believe some of the things they believe. Believe me, I get it. They've been screwed over, but MGTOW and misogyny is all centered around hatred of a group of people that have no reason to be hated other than, in that case, their anatomy, female human beings. And not proud of that, but it is what it is. I don't see any reason to lie about it. Kids, I know I quit drinking, but I haven't quit dipping snuff yet, and I gotta get a big fat plug, so bear with me 1 sec. In fact, I'm gonna get out of the camera range so you don't have to see me put it in, because I know it grosses some people out. See, I'm working on my sexy body here. Still gotta get rid of this shit. That's what I'm not proud of. Don't like that. But now that I'm not drinking, it's getting a lot easier to get rid of. Then again, I am just getting old, so let's see, where are we at? What is your MGTOW is funny because their whole philosophy is moving away from women, but women is all they talk about. Yeah, it's a strange philosophy. Let's see, Mr. Snappy. I avoid women because I've been screwed over by women 3 times. Yeah, well, trust me, the reciprocal obviously exists. Lots of men screw over women too, and it's just something I think humanity is just going to have to get over. That's why I no longer consider myself. I was talking to somebody on the comment section today. That's why I don't call myself a father's rights activist anymore because I'm not. I'm a family court activist. Because trust me, I'm in the position I would know there's lots and lots and lots and lots of good moms that have gotten screwed just as bad, if not some of them worse. My friend Tanis, she's also Canadian, I've made a video about her son. She got screwed by her American husband in Oklahoma. And I made that like 4 years ago. And I talked to her not too long ago. She still hasn't seen her own son. It's terrible. So that's the reason I don't call myself a father's rights activist, just a family court activist, because obviously I'm not stupid to realize that most of the time, when I say most, over 50%, it's the fathers getting screwed. But anyway, I've talked about that too much. I don't want to get too far off. But anyway, that's where I'm at on that. What is, it's getting old. What is a OMM? Not sure. Dude, just stop. Okay, I guess y'all are talking to each other. I really just, it disappeared. I don't know if Becca blocked them or, let's see. I think most people just suck. Men and women alike. Hard to find good people. From Janelle Lloyd. I hate to say it, but sometimes I think I like you. Well, thank Christ. From Shankare. Thank Christ. Not sure what that was about. What's an OMM? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to have to catch up. I'm way behind. Credit McDaddy. I saw a lot of misogyny in some of the comments of your most popular video. I think it's fantastic that you acknowledge both parties screw each other over, not just women. Well, I'm not going to lie. I see those comments. And for the most part, I've rarely deleted anything. The outright racist, occasionally I'll delete them. But then again, I don't see many of that. But misogynistic, the main reason I don't is only because I was a misogynist again for about a year. My heart was full of hatred. I was at the very bottom of my depression. And so therefore I know how it feels. Not that it's right, but I know how it feels. I'm just thankful that I was able to pull myself out of it. And now even more thankful that I'm able to get rid of the thing that I was covering my anger with, my depression with, and my sleeping problem with, which was alcohol. So I know why they feel that way, and therefore I just leave the comments. Because if for no other reason, it can be a good conversation starter, such as this from Credit McDaddy. I think we need to talk about it. What is it that makes you hate all women? What is it that makes you hate all men? Because there's what's the converse of misogyny? Misandry. There's misandry exists as well. And again, I've seen the misandry comments as well, and I see why so many women get so irritated and they just group all men to the same, because so many men it's like at a certain age we become pricks. And I don't know. Let's see. Santiago Bianchi, do you know about the recent situation of Argentina? 94 people disappeared, and all of them, police is involved. Our president is a dictator. Love liberty in the United States. Hugs from Argentina. I'm not familiar with that story. I don't know if I'm starting to realize that the news that is released in the U.S. is a lot. There's a lot that's filtered out we don't see, and only because I know other people in other countries that I talked about local things here that are gigantic that don't reach it over there. You're not the first person that's asked me about the situation in Argentina. I don't know anything about it. I'll try Googling it, see what I can find. But they're asking me what I thought on this last live that I did, what I think about the president of Argentina. I was like, I don't even know who the president of Argentina is. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Born T, I think women are awesome. They carry humans in their stomachs and grow and take care of them. Well, yeah, they do. That's just and human and that's just how it works. I had a really big crush on Parker. You did. That's that's lovely. I don't even know what to say about that. He's a good looking kid. All my kids are. Um, oh my gosh. I hate it when the comments just jump around so fast. I know there's a way to slow it down. I just never could figure it out. Janelle Lloyd, you could read some of your news through the BBC and elsewhere. I read BBC. My quasi girlfriend, not girlfriend, ungirlfriend, still really good friend, but we're not talking at the moment, lives in Ipswich, England. So I've become really familiar with British culture. Still can't wait to visit there. So I read a lot of BBC stuff. What do I think about Trump? I think I'm not going to talk about politics like that because it's pointless. I've got this really big fear, guys. In about 3 weeks, somebody's going to become president. Somebody's going to win the presidency. How do you pronounce siege? Ceedge. I would say siege. Keege. Oh, that's your name. Let's see, Mackenzie Winings. Many people talk about how all men and women are the same. And like the other person said, I'm happy that you acknowledge that both are to blame. Both are to blame, and both are the remedy. I think more people need to take ownership of their own actions, and I'm trying my best to lead by example. Again, not lead. I'm not trying to lead anybody, but of all people, Jesus Christ, somebody just sent a $99 live chat. Oh, it literally was Jesus. Well, hello, Jesus. Made me lose my train of thought there. Thank you very much. Um, I'm trying to, again, not lead by example, but just of all people, I know how awful the family courts can be. I know how nasty, how depressed people can be. And with that, I'm trying my best to show people you can get through it. And I highly recommend you don't do the alcohol thing. I see why people do it. And if you are in that cycle of the alcoholism, if you can just get past the first 2 weeks of the DTs, you can lick it. I had quit in the past for a week or two at a time. Other than being in jail, I once quit for a month. And I thought I still wasn't really open about telling people. I told a few people, but I wasn't like open talking about it. And there's something for me, anyways, to be said for personally openly talking about it to the world. I'm here to say, hold me accountable. If you ever see me out in public and you like see me drinking, come talk to me. Say, Caleb, what the hell are you doing? I thought you quit. I mean, hold me account. I want to be held accountable. And for me, this is, nobody wants to be embarrassed and fall off the wagon. I understand it happens. But this is me telling the world, if you see me in public, if I better not be drinking. I mean, that would be really, nobody likes to be humiliated. I would hate to be out at a party where I started getting smashed and someone pulls out a camera and says, hey, look, there's old Caleb, the notorious dad, getting drunk or shit. That fucking hypocrite. Well, I'm not going to listen to anything he ever says. I don't want that. And that helps me tell myself daily, A, I enjoy my sleep too much, and B, I don't want to get humiliated like that. So I'm going to hold myself accountable. I don't think I've got any alcohol left in the house. You know what? I might have a little bit left in my truck from a long time ago. I just now remembered. I don't know. But if I do, I'm just going to pour it out because I just don't want it. Yo, everybody go watch Laserbeam. He is live. I don't know who Laserbeam is. Oh, okay. Jesus told me hello and sent $99.99. Jesus, thank you very much. There's a Jesus. Let's see. Be nice or leave. That's right. Jesus or Jesus, are you the second coming or an imposter? Or just someone named Jesus? And my 100, Jesus is reborn. Miss Mary, I'm not sure what she's laughing at there, but somebody's a funny dude. Jesus the third coming. Where was that? Funk it. Damn it. Let's see. Harfbots. Caleb having special needs and being told I couldn't do something. I just went for it and accomplished it. If you can, you can. Well, good for you, Harv. Jack Tuanon. Caleb, have you ever been outside the country? If so, where? Was it with your family or solo? I like both, actually, solo and family traveling. The only two times I've ever been out of the country are both of my honeymoons. My first honeymoon, I went to Jamaica, and my second honeymoon, I went to Cancun. No, I take that back. I went to Cancun when I was just out of high school, but I was way drunk and I hardly remember it. Actually hurt my leg there. But as soon as I get my name cleared with the douchebag Attorney General Ken Paxton, I'm going to get my passport and I'm just going to come see all y'all. Maybe I'll sail there. Maybe I'll just fly there. I don't know. Dang, Jesus or Jesus. I wish I knew how you pronounce your name. You just wasted $100. You should have just put that in the chat. Shanna Jackson. I guess that's up to Jesus whether or not he wasted or not. I appreciate it. I'm going to leave now from Mackenzie Winings. Bye. We'll have a good evening. Mr. Snappy. Bye, guys. I see a lot of political crap. Yeah, that's why I don't talk about politics very much. RR, check out. Where'd it go? I lost it. Santiago, any state that's not Democrat run, they're all burning, blah, 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 more politics. Miss Mary, Caleb Leverett, Jesus wants to talk about your kids, so that's why he's a bit upset. Oh, well, Jesus, sorry, dude. I've made that abundantly clear. Miss Mary and Becca, they can attest that I talk about that just about every live I've ever done, that I don't talk about my kids. So I'll talk about, certain aspects, but, the House Parker crowd, I've said all I can say about that, and I'm just not going to go there. I don't care if you send me $100 or $100,000. I'm just not going to talk about it. Shanna Jackson, Jesus on his YouTube page, click playlist, hit part. Yeah, it's all there. It really is. I promise. Thomas, keep your profanity to yourself. That was from Jack Thornton. The Jelly Sloth. How are you doing? I'm sober, man. Caleb Leverett, what languages do you speak and what languages would you like to speak? Obviously, I speak English fluently. I'm kind of a grammar Nazi. Uh-oh. Changes. Cancel. I don't know what that was. I speak a little bit of Spanish just because there's so many Spanish speakers in Texas. I'm not fluent by any means. I'd like to be. I don't know, French, Italian. That would all be kind of cool. Thomas, he's not wasting. It's what he wants to know about the kids. If he doesn't like talking about his kids, that's all. I mean, yeah, that's just it. What's with all the jacks here? Must be a jack revolution. I don't know. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Whew. I don't know. That's a loaded question. I really don't know. Hopefully on a boat, sailing around the world, talking to people, meeting new people. Harv Pot, stay strong. Will you stay strong, Harv? I'm the only Jack in my school. Yoda, your channel has helped me a lot. Much love. Visiting PA, Pennsylvania this fall for some awesome leaf color. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, the leaves are about to change. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh at the end of this month through Halloween. And I just realized I drove through Pittsburgh one time, but I don't remember it. But that time I drove through in that New England area, there were so many, the leaves are changing. My God, that is beautiful. Take me. Uh, Stop bringing up the kids. He doesn't want to talk. So there's your answer. Yes. Crib 254. Hello. The jelly sloth. It's over Anakin. I have all the high ground. What are y'all talking Star Wars stuff? Take me with you when you go visit your ungirlfriend from Janelle Lloyd. Yep, we'll just get the bigger the boat, the more people I can fit. I'm going to need a whole crew. Maybe we can just make our own flotilla. Sorry, this is my first time. Just saw the videos tonight. Meant no harm. That's okay, Wicker Rose. Everybody's new. And I've talked to my Whomping Wills about that. Sometimes people just don't know. But for the newcomers, I've said all I can say about the kids. So let's see. I'll be near Pittsburgh on Halloween for my cousin's wedding. It's absolutely beautiful up here. Okay, cool. All the more reason I can't wait to go. Caleb, it is normal that I'm not fully grown. I've already named my 4 kids. Everyone tells me I'm a weirdo. Also, keep the names a secret. Everybody dreams about that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just dreaming. I think a lot of people need to dream. It's okay for dreams. Kids, particularly kids, to dream. Definitely buy a yacht. We're all coming. Hell yeah. How do you handle the urges to drink? That's a very good question. Sandlin, how do you handle the urges to drink? For me personally, I just don't have the urges anymore. While I was drinking regularly, that's the reason I drank. It's because I think, well, shit, it's time to go to sleep. Pull out the booze. But now that I'm over the hill or over the hump, that's the reason I don't have any desire to go to an AA meetings, because I don't have any urges to drink like whatsoever. The thought of alcohol, right? I could smell it. Ugh, it just makes me want to barf. I just subscribed to your channel like a month ago, Toledo Klein. Well, thank you, Toledo. Let's see. When did your channel blow up? Raza Vana Lido. It blew up the night I uploaded the Parker video, so 2013. I'd had my channel since 2008. I had like not even, or right at maybe 100 subscribers. And I had mostly political videos up, which I've taken all that crap down because I was so lost. Jack Thornton, thanks for informing me. You're welcome. Miss Mary, on Xbox, please stop asking about the kids. We already addressed that. Okay, yeah. Once I have a passport again, Caleb, I plan to go down to Texas from Ontario by train. There are a lot of trains that you can get like on passenger trains. I didn't realize this till just not too long ago. You can take trains relatively cheap all over the place in North America. I thought that'd be kind of fun myself. No, I'm not falling for that. Let's see. Boring tea. What is smoking like? I mean, well, I'm 11. I can't smoke. Yeah, kid, don't start smoking. Like Janelle Lloyd, I'm trying to quit smoking once and for all. I used to drink a lot, but it's been years. I'm okay with pot here and there, but the consequences in PA in 2020 can be pretty devastating, so got to be careful. Yeah, and that's why I think it needs to be decriminalized across the board all the way. It's a naturally growing plant. It can grow in almost any climate. It's a cure for so many different ailments. I'm not even a doctor, and even I know that. I remember when it first popped up on my recommended page. It feels like a long time ago, but it wasn't. Oh, the Parker, yeah, yeah. For whatever reason, it's blowing up again, like right now. And I see a lot of people making that comment on it that it just popped up in their after 7 years. It's just popping up. The Jelly Sloth. I'm 14 and I'm filling out my first job application. Any tips? I'm not getting any luck yet. Um, wow, congratulations. Go get her there, the Jelly Sloth. Be honest, show up on time, be, don't be a pushover, but anytime any of the bosses ask if anybody wants any extra or wants to learn something, volunteer. That's what I would do. Caleb, before you had your first son, did you want a boy or a girl? Um, I don't really remember. I guess after Blaine, I kind of wanted a girl, but once we were pregnant with Blaine, I got my balls snipped because I didn't want any more after that. Weed is legal in Canada. Good. Yes. Yeah, that was the way it was on my recommended. In Toledo Klein. Janelle Lloyd, yes, decriminalization or decriminalize it already. Our Governor Wolf is working on it. It helps with my depression and back pain. I don't doubt it. It helped me get off the alcohol big time. Now, if I can just get off the dip, get off the tobacco, the chewing tobacco, I'll be just. That's coming. I know it is. I know it's a gross habit. To me personally, it's not nearly as disgusting as smoking cigarettes, but that's next. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or next year or 5 years from now, but I do plan on getting off the chewing tobacco as well. The video Parker fighting to live with you is better than most movies getting accepted by the box office. Well, thank you, Jack. I've heard that a lot. Thank you. And for those that are wondering, I just use my phone. That's all I use is an iPhone 4. Vaping is just as bad as smoking. I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's healthy, but it's so new. I don't think there haven't been enough studies. I personally used vape to quit smoking cigarettes, but then I quit using the vape as well. Let's see. In my opinion, blah, blah, blah. See, Harry Potts, my physics teacher, always said that statement is better than the you statement, and that's where resolving conflict can successfully come into play on both sides. Yeah, resolving conflict resolution is an art form. They should they should not imprison Ken Paxton. They should exile him to a remote village in the third world. It will be shameful for him, and he would be providing for himself instead of living off our taxes. I'd be I'd be open to talking about that. The main reason I keep saying Paxton for prison is currently that's the ultimate punishment for people. That's exile, just punish the guy some, get him away from being able to ruin so many lives the way he's doing now is my main thing. Matthew Babb, hey, why did you try to block me, man? I thought we were cool. I see how I'm going to dislike this. I'm not blocking anybody. One of my Whomping Willows may have put you in the penalty box. I'm not sure. It just depends on what you're talking about. Android leader. Hey, I have a virtual presentation tomorrow and I'm really nervous. Any advice? If you know your stuff, you know your stuff. Just if you know it, you don't have to think about it. Like anytime I've ever talked to a judge or a lawyer about my kids, like for instance, when I got custody of Blaine, my lawyer was quick enough and witty enough to say, after her lawyer bungled it all up, Mr. Leverett, could you please tell us about your kids? I don't need any notes. I don't need any. I know this. You could blindfold me, tie both hands behind my back. I can just go on and on and on and on. So about giving your presentation, if you know your stuff, you just know it. You keep notes, just to make some bullet points to make sure I don't forget this topic or this topic or this topic. But I would say the key to giving a successful presentation is knowing your stuff, not just memorizing it, knowing it intimately. I'm trying not to keep the spitter in front of y'all because I know it's disgusting. Pay support, get a job from Oxyman. I assume you're talking about child support. All right. I'll just go get a job and pay support. How original. Gee, I've never heard that one before. Let's see. Sven Flyer. Do you regret uploading the video that blew up? No. Like, does all this attention have a negative side as well? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely negative sides to it. I don't recommend, if you don't have to become an activist, don't do it. I don't recommend it. There's a lot of downsides to it. You get put on a unwritten list. How should I put that? There's just a list that you get put on being an activist, especially if you're known for pulling out a camera when you see somebody harming someone else. A lot of people don't want to hire you. So I want people to hold people accountable, but if you don't have to become an activist, don't. I didn't want to do this. If I would have made my kids with somebody I was compatible with, like if reincarnation exists and I ever do, if that happens, I'll make sure I make children with somebody that I'm compatible with. Jesus, can you donate to me in my life? Yeah, no kidding. It's only Aaron. Caleb, I started watching you when you uploaded the video about your son, and 9 just wanted to say you helped me a lot. Well, I'm glad it helped you. That's part of the reason I keep it up. Basically, as an activist, I'm in this so deep now. This is what I do. This is what I know. This is what I'm good at. Encouraging people to learn how to do conflict resolution, keeping people honest, because the camera keeps people civil, usually, or at least it's more inclined to keep people civil. So that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. Christopher, Caleb, you're the reason I made a promise to God to be a better father than you were. Then, better father than me. Oh, great. I hope it works out. Better. I hope people were a better father than me. I don't know if that was meant to be a backhanded compliment or a true one. I'm not sure. But either way, I don't claim to be the world's best father because I'm not. I've made plenty of mistakes. Okay, it's going too fast again. Shanna Jackson. So we should put Ken Paxton on a stranded island with no food. Okay, I like that idea. Sounds like music to my ears. Yeah, but he'd learn how to fish. Put me on a deserted island so I can get away from traffic and honking horns and smog. Tyler Vaughn, I live in Texas. So what city are you in? Also, how did Parker cope with the divorce? Not talking about that part, but I'm in Conroe. Wanted to see my dad once a month. Well, that's no good. He owns up to his mistakes. I'm trying to. It's in the past. It's kind of humiliating. It's kind of. I mean, no one likes to admit I'm a fucking drunk, but it is what it is. Of course, I'm not. I don't know. They say once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. That's what conventional wisdom. I'm a firm believer in science, but if you don't question the science, then it becomes a belief. And apparently, a lot of people have this desire to go back to drinking, and I just don't have that desire. So, am I an alcoholic? By some standards, I am. To others, even my own, I don't think I am because I don't keep alcohol in the house anymore. I have no desire to have alcohol. I did say that once Ken Paxton's put in prison, I might bend my own rule and pop a bottle of champagne have a glass or maybe a nice glass of red wine, maybe. But that would be about it. I don't think that constitutes someone being an alcoholic. Caleb, people need to hear from you more. You have a message that everyone needs to hear. Well, that's why I'm trying to do these lives more often as best I can. Rod, I didn't have the desire to get back into gambling, but I did once it was a dark hole. Pulled myself together out of that, but I know it's not a good to go back near an addiction. Man, if that works for you, staying away from something that tempts you, by all means, stay away from it. If you are somebody who has been a drinker and then you quit, and then just being around it makes you want to drink again, so you choose not to, by all means, stay away from it. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying this is me where I'm at. That's why I titled it, my drunkenness, my sobriety. This is just what works for me. If what works for you, being a former drinker, heavy drinker, if it works for you staying away from it, I highly encourage you, do what works for you and stay away from it. Albert Magolio, I can't talk about that. I understand what forgiveness is, but that gets into talking about other people in my family, former family, whatever you call it, and I can't talk about that. I can say this: forgiveness is a wonderful thing, and I think everybody ought to strive harder, including myself, to forgive as many people as possible. And I will forgive Ken Paxton after he is out of office and in prison. Yes, I'm childish about Ken Paxton. I want dirt on Ken Paxton. I make no bones about it. So, okay, wait, what's up with Paxton? Like, who is he? Paxton is the Attorney General of Texas, and I've got about 20 plus videos I've made about him. I can tell you all about Ken Paxton if you'll just watch my channel. Caleb, are you a libertarian? You goddamn right I am, Travis Tofta. Yes, I am a hardcore libertarian. In fact, I'm so libertarian. I've been a libertarian for a long time. I'm what a lot of people call a voluntarist, meaning I believe that all human interactions ought to be voluntary. And the two biggest Parker movies are argued from a voluntary standpoint. I think it's really cool when I see, very seldom, but because there's not a whole lot of us voluntarists. I don't think Becca is, but I know Miss Mary is also a voluntarist. That entire Parker movie was made from a voluntary standpoint. That was my entire argument. And it's really cool when I see other volunteers that I don't even know say, holy shit, and like in the comments, Caleb is a voluntarist. He made the perfect, that's a voluntarist argument. Yes, are you a voluntarist? I'm like, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, right on, right on. Jack 209, I became a libertarian because I realized that that's the only part that supports full liberty. Me too. I'm not like gung-ho on the Libertarian Party as much. I agree with, as far as parties go, a lot more with the Libertarian Party than any other party. But for the new people that are libertarians, just know that there's what we call the big tent. There's the big tent. It's called, there's different layers, and this is the big tent, the big libertarian tent. Underneath that, you've got Libertarian Party people, you've got voluntarists, you've got true anarchists, not what the media says, and you've got the independents. And we kind of vary on things, but the main part of voluntarism is self-ownership. You own yourself. Nobody else owns you. Period. End of story. All human interactions should be voluntary. In other words, if it's made by force, then it's not voluntary. Caleb, are you an atheist? From Albert Maggiolo. No, I am agnostic. For those that don't know, atheists, the way I see it, declare there is no God or gods. Agnostic, I'm just at the point where there might be a God and there might not be. God might be a man, God might be a woman, there might be a bunch of gods. I just don't know. I've not seen proof either way. Caleb, we want the ganja. Have at it, man. I'd much rather people deal with depression and stress with weed than I would them dealing with alcohol, because there's the results are in. Alcohol is poisonous. Period. End of story. I'm not saying you're a bad person, if you drink here and there. I will say this: now that I've been sober, like I said, tomorrow, Friday, which in some parts of the country it is Friday. This is my 7-week celebration. I've noticed so much of Hollywood, even movies that I really, really like. The old cowboy movies where they're just drinking some whiskey here and there. Man, I just don't see how these old guys in real life could be drinking that much damn whiskey and stay alive. I consider myself a tough son of a bitch, but you can only stand so much, and then that's it. The human body just can't filter it. Whereas weed, you can be like stoned, and then you can be like stoned, and the next day you wake up and cool. You sleep well. You're bright-eyed, bushy-tails. Your eyes aren't. Yeah, they'll be bloodshot while you're stoned, but the next day you're perfectly fine. Pepe the Frog, tough son of a bitch. The mad cow never understood alcohol. It tastes bad. Like, why would they try it? It's not, I would say, the flavor. It's how it makes you feel once you get intoxicated. It changes your depth perception. It changes your mood. You just get real lazy. A lot of people get violent. But if you've never tried alcohol, I'm just here to tell you, you're not missing anything. It's not like sex. You can't explain sex to a virgin. But and everybody will want it sometime or another. But with alcohol, if you've never tried it, don't bother. It's poisonous. It's addictive, and it's expensive. Caleb, do you like Pink Floyd? Who doesn't? I love Pink Floyd. I mean, I'm not their biggest fan, but I could turn on Dark Side of the Moon, just go to sleep to it. I love it. Have y'all ever watched The Wizard of Oz that's overlaid with Dark Side of the Moon? That is so cool. I watched it years ago. You know what? Now that I think about it, I was probably drinking back then. I might try that now that I'm sober. That would be cool. Clarjort Doge. I remember watching the video of the kid separating from his mom because he wanted to move with you. Yeah, that's why most people are here. Alcohol is bad. Synthetic. Yep, it is bad. Do you like Tool? I'm obviously not the biggest Tool fan. I don't hate them, but I know of them. I'm not a gigantic fan. Obi-Wan Kenobi. See, wait, do you like Fleetwood Mac? Yes. I hate that they're all of a sudden involved in politics. That's kind of disappointing, but yeah, I love Fleetwood Mac. Raza Vana Lido. I tried a bit of beer when I was 8. Jesus. And that nasty lasted for a week. Why do people like alcohol? Yeah, just don't. Caleb, you should try to pin not to ask about the kids on the stream. That's actually a good. Thanks for being the smartest 11-year-old I've ever talked to. I don't know how to do that. I'll try that. That's actually a good idea. Try to pin not talking about the kids. So if you're going to send me $99.99, thanks, but I'm still not talking about the kids. I'll try to figure out how to do that. Pin that at the very top. Wicca is asking, does the live keep freezing or is it just you? I don't know. Is it? On my end, about 15 minutes ago, it was freezing. Is it freezing now, Miss Mary? Becca? Maleficent, 1977. Hello, I saw that Parker video from years ago and set up watching it the whole video all night. Thanks. A lot of people do that. Heroin is so messed up, as is painkillers. Yeah, that's one thing I've never tried. I will never try. I'm just not interested. Yeah, no kidding. Eddie Van Halen. Man, can 2020 get any shittier? I couldn't believe that. Again, I wasn't the biggest Van Halen fan in the world, but Van Halen has just always been around my entire life. As my oldest memories, they've just always been around. That was a kick in the nuts there. Do you still owe a whole bunch of money of child support? Nope, I sure don't. The Attorney General says I do, but I don't. I've already gone to mediation 3 years ago this month, October of 2017, and all that was wiped out. But he won't update my account, and that's why I can't get my passport. Cocaine is the most addictive, to the best of my knowledge. I I don't know. I've done cocaine twice in my life. Once when I was 19, and once when I was 20. I don't recommend it. It's definitely a young person's drug because speed, I can't imagine. I don't, that's the last thing people my age would ever do it. That damn Ken Paxton won't up his case file. He's about to, or his successor's going to. One way or another, and I'm not even going to be satisfied anymore with just updating my file. I'm going for the jugular. But what I miss using the bathroom, what we're talking about, I'm just kind of all over the place. Shanna, a green giraffe. Caleb, do you like the rock band Queen? Yeah, one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Queen is old school classic. I know there's apparently Miss Mary and Becca, they're my age, but here's for the young kids listening. That song, Bohemian Rhapsody, came out in I think 80 or 81. I was 4 or 5. I remember hearing it on the radio and I liked it, but I was real little. But then in the 90s, a TV show, which was a spinoff of a skit from Saturday Night Live called Wayne's World with Mike Myers and Dana Taylor. They brought that song back, and 12 years later, whatever it was, or maybe 15 years later, it charted again to number 1. And then Bohemian Rhapsody came out, the movie, last year? 2019, I believe. And it charted again. And here's the kicker. There is the producer in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody was played by Mike Myers. And the kids didn't know it. They already loved the song because they kind of grew up with it. But they didn't realize that Wayne's World from the early 90s, and then he who brought the song back, he played, it's hard, you can't tell because he's aged quite a bit, but he's also in makeup and long hair, and he's American, or maybe he's Canadian, but he's got the perfect British accent. He really does. I even asked Sade about that. She was raised in London, born and raised there. Perfect London accent. I said, can you tell that Mike Myers in his English accent does he do a good job? She said, yeah, he did a really good job. Caleb, do you like the band Kiss? My parents love it. I just don't. I know a lot of people do. I've just never been a Ace Frehley. I don't hate them, but they made 5,000 different records. I'm exaggerating, but they made like over 100 records. I mean, to me, they just all sound the same. I'm just not a big fan. But yeah, Queen. I love Queen. I always say Queen's the best band of all time. I was 10 when Wayne's World came out. I was probably 14, 15, maybe 16. Pineapple Express is a good movie. I think I started watching, I just never finished it. When you talk about Paxton, the pencil neck geek, he is El Chapo, El Cheapo. Boring T, I love that band too. Black Paint. Okay, y'all are talking to each other there. I agree. I don't really get rock. Caleb, do you like Aerosmith and Bon Jovi? Yes and yes. Steven Tyler's kind of got a little bit of a checkered past. Some say he might have been a pedo. Not sure about that. Kind of sucks if he did. It really sucks if he did, but I'm not sure it's true. But their music, yeah, I grew up with them. I love them. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. Caleb, what do you think about Five Finger Death Punch? I like a few of their songs. I've got a friend of mine who actually was really good friends with the lead singer. Apparently, of course, there's always weird back stuff with bands like that. Not a huge fan. I don't hate them. I'm just not a huge fan. Oh, name a horror movie that traumatized your childhood. Mine was Orphan. The Dark Crystal, the Skeksis. Holy crap. And the Bog of Eternal Stench. Oh, that just messed my head up. Even when the Goonies came out, I still wasn't quite big enough. I was still prepubescent. And when Sloth came, fortunately, he turned out to be a, hey, you guys, good guy, but scared of Freddy Krueger, Michael and Jason. I wasn't allowed to watch those movies, so I didn't. I've seen them since I've been an adult. I'm like, oh, this is corny as hell. But Hopsy, how's it going? I'm sober now. It's great. Shanna Jackson. When Ken Paxton gets kicked out of the office, we're all going on a cruise partying. Yeah. If I can afford it, yeah, I'm doing it. Alyssa Rabe coming to Canada. I cannot wait to come to Canada. What do you think about Blue Oyster Cult? They had some good hits. They were popular a little before my time, but when they come on the oldies, I always listen to them. Dark Crystal was good. So was Labyrinth. Goonies was scary. Wicca. Okay, Wicca, Rose. Yeah, okay, Labyrinth. Is that the one with David Bowie in the Bog of Eternal Stench? I think they came out right around the same time. That's right. Goonies Never Say Die. I'm going to really piss off Becca real quick and maybe some other fellow Goonies lovers. But I watched the Goonies. I've got it. I own a DVD of it. I watched it about 8 or 10 months ago, just for old time's sake. Pretty much when COVID started. And the acting is terrible. It's so awful. It is so awful. The acting in the Goonies just terrible, but I wouldn't change a bit of it. I love it so much. And for y'all that are watching, that I just made you had steam come out your ears about the Goonies, there's a YouTube video that came out about a year ago, and this dude brought in all the living cast members on a Zoom meeting. And it's really, really good, like nostalgic as hell. I loved it. I can't remember what it's called, but you can find it on YouTube. It was really good. Team Evoked. Hey, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm sober. It's an 80s movie. What do you expect? Exactly. You just got to love the 80s. And if you're an 80s fan, if you haven't seen Stranger Things, oh my God, it's so nostalgic. Do I like Bob Marley? Yes. Who doesn't like Bob Marley? He's Rosie. Oh, yes. Acting is horrible, but it's hilarious. It is. It's terrible, but it's such a good show. The evil old lady died 3 years ago after the Goonies came out. Yeah, I forgot her name. I saw that. From Janelle, do you remember the Buttercream Gang? Gonna watch that this weekend with my 13-year-old. Can't wait. I don't. That doesn't ring a bell. I've never heard of that. Caleb, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Obviously, Christmas Vacation. That's one of those movies I've always watched at least once a year. Chevy Chase. I've seen it 100, maybe even 1,000 times. I know every line of Christmas Vacation. Greatest Christmas movie of all time. Love it, love it, love it. What do you think about Motley Crue? Never was a big fan. What do you think about The Christmas Story? It's a classic for what it is, but nothing can beat Cousin Eddie showing up in the RV. Oh, that being said, I've got a little nugget for y'all hardcore people that are in here. Good Lord, almost 2 hours. Time flies, and when I'm having fun being sober this late at night, it's past my bedtime, but I'm having so much fun. I've got a little nugget since we brought up Christmas Vacation and Christmas song or movies. I made a video called Surprising the Kids with Our New RV or something like that. And I'd already called Parker and told him about it, that I got it. But I didn't tell the others. I said, I want you to be out front and have everybody out there because he didn't know I was going to record it. But I wanted all of them out there. And I put my phone up here. And I can't remember exactly how I did it. I recorded the video, but at one point or another, I can't remember. Maybe it was the next day. I opened up anyway. I reenacted that scene when Cousin Eddie's draining the sewer into the drain. He said, "Merry Christmas, shitter's full." I actually bought one of those bomber hats. Got the little flip up ears and the little straps that would normally go under your chin. And I put on the jacket and my boxer brief underwear, my cowboy boots, and I opened the door up. I think it was the next day because it was kind of cold. And I said, "Morning, kids, shitter's full." And of course, they'd all seen the movie and they thought it's hilarious. I've still got the hat somewhere. I saw it the other day. Richard Oliveria, hello, Mr. Caleb. I've been watching part of your story for the last few days. And I just wanted to wish you and your kids, especially the eldest, the very best, even though he's a grown man now. Well, thank you very much. Jaden Plower says hello. Caleb, we all have to agree. We all have to agree. Don't Cry original by Guns N' Roses was the bomb. Gigantic Guns N' Roses fan. I'm so bummed that I didn't go get to see them in concert about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I wanted to go so bad, but I was so broke. And I'm still kind of broke, but I'm doing a little bit better now. If they were to come and do concerts now, I'd definitely go. Love Guns N' Roses. Oh, Vine is the life, bitch. Do you like the movie Napoleon Dynamite? I don't. I know a lot of people love it. That's just one of those movies. Some people really love it, and people like me, I didn't like Jack Black. I do. I just didn't like that movie. Do you watch football, Gunner? Nope. And I've got personal reasons for that. Have you ever watched the Brokeback Mountain? Actually, I haven't. I've heard it's really good, and I've heard it's really bad. Obviously, if you're homophobic, a lot of people don't like it. I just haven't watched it. Not for that reason. I just haven't watched it. I don't know if it's any good or not. I've heard for the people who aren't judgmental, they said it's a really good story, but I don't know. Shanna Jackson, mine is the Polar Express. For some reason, I wanted that to be a little boy. I did like the Polar Express. That actually was really good. I haven't seen it as many times as I have Christmas Vacation. Perry, please stop asking about the kids. Yeah, we're not doing that. Hey, Caleb, I'm tired. Got to get early. I'll see you in the next live. Good night, Zod. Zod, appreciate it, man. It was a good chat. Thanks. Wicker Rose, have you ever seen Led Zeppelin before the plane crash? They did a concert in Delaware when I was a kid. I was too young to remember, though. I haven't. Well, I love Led Zeppelin, but I'm not familiar with that. Tiffany S. Hi from NC, North Carolina, I assume. Hello, Tiffany. Can I stop being banned? I don't know. I assume you're asking about the kids, and that's why they put you in timeout. I'm not answering. If you don't ask personal questions about my kids or anything like that, or inappropriate questions, you won't get banned. I promise. What about all the Scrooge movies? Didn't Jim Carrey make a Scrooge movie? I think he did. I love Jim Carrey, but I can't. It seems like I remember he did make it. I just can't remember. Ledger Plays. Hey, can I please get a shout out? I'm trying to gain subs. Well, hello, Ledger Plays. Let's get you some subs. I had a question. Do you like country music? From Paint Drying 454. I like old country music. This modern, whiny, like canned in a can of Spam, just this new stuff. Oh, it's so awful. But old David Allan Coe and Hank Sr. and Marty Robbins. I love the old country. Even like maybe Alan Jackson, some old George Strait, Randy Travis. Who else? Charlie Daniels. We lost Charlie Daniels this year too. Oh yeah, for sure. Johnny Cash. Joseph Rockford, definitely Johnny Cash. If you don't mind me asking, I came late. How long have you been sober? It'll be 7 weeks Friday. Friday for me is 2 more hours, depending on where you're at. So Friday. Merle Haggard, absolutely love Merle Haggard. Rainbow Stew, Miss Mary. We'll all be drinking that free bubble up and eating that rainbow stew. Oh, we used to get so hammered to that song up on the ski lift. My buddy BJ Smart and I, we went to, God almighty, 18 years old, we went to Ruidoso just on a whim. Listened to that and got shit-faced drunk. Love that song. Okay, I have to say that you're going to play music in Texas. You got to have a fiddle in the band. Oh, yeah. Who was that? Was that Alabama? I like Alabama. Garth Brooks. I love Garth Brooks. Sade is Englishy-ish. That's not a word, but hardcore Mary Poppins. So she's more English than that. That's her favorite singer of all time is Garth Brooks. Jim Carrey made a cartoon version of the Scrooge. Okay, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, Charlie Daniels, Wicca. Charlie Daniels died. It sucked. I didn't particularly care for his politics, but I sure liked his music. And not just the Devil Went Down to Georgia, but he made this one song called The Uneasy Rider. That's another one of those we used to get hammered to. That was fun. Sweet Home Alabama, good song, of course. Blake Begum, hi. Justin Kendall, Jim Carrey, sorry. Jim Carrey, yeah, I know what you meant. Paint, do you know George Floyd? No, I didn't know George Floyd. Blake Beckham, hello. Cheryl Waite, Alabama, seen them years ago. Yep, they're a good song. Yep, sucks Eddie Van Halen died. I hate that. That really, really sucks. Congrats on 7 weeks sober from 123 Bastard. I'm 1 week right now. Well, 123 Bastard, make it 2 weeks. And then check back in here, and it'll be like 4 months for me and 3 months for you. Hell yeah. Good job. Wicca Rose, the beaches of Cheyenne and the thunder rolls. Oh, yes. What was the song where Garth Brooks was playing the piano in his white hat and his white tucks and the the paint or whatever starts coming out. I can't remember which song that is. Bonham Shadow, I love your English accent. You mean my hillbilly accent? Yep, I'm backwoods hillbilly, I know. But I'm not as bad as some people from Texas. Did I miss anything? Had to take care of a dirty diaper. Wow, boring T. You're a trooper. Now we're just talking about music. David Bautista, get drunk. No, thank you. Doesn't appeal to me anymore. It's fun thinking about the old music and the old songs that we used to, but nope, not interested anymore. I sleep too well. Vertex YT, do you watch Pornhub? Not very often, and I'm certainly not going to talk about that on this. Please stop. I guess about the kids. Yeah. Wicker Rose, I can't remember. Okay, about the video of, I can't remember which one it was, but yeah. My fish likes to swim upside down. Okay. Sounds like you need to feed your fish. I hate Ken Paxton because he is corrupt. That makes about 100,000 of us, maybe 1,000,000 of us. Paint drying 454. Is it just me, or was John F. Kennedy one of the best presidents? As far as presidents go, yeah, he's about one of the best. Hispanic music, yeah, some. I'm not really into the Tejano type, mostly because I don't speak the language. But Shakira, oh my God, I love Shakira. And there's this, okay, Vertex IT, you're out of here. There's this one song that she sings in all Spanish. I can't even think of the name of it. And I got to the point I memorized the song even though I have no idea what she's talking about. But I love Shakira. Yes, she is. From Gunner. Hips don't lie. I mean, the sun. Oh, Texas would be so much fun place to visit. It is. It can be. I guess since I live here, I've had such a hard time here. It's nothing to me. But there's a lot to see here. If you're not from here, it's a nice place to visit. Luke Bryan, good singer. Paint drying 454. You're not just going to have to agree to disagree because I cannot stand Luke Bryan. Maybe he's a good person as a person, but his music. Oh, oh my God! The way some people can't stand Nickelback. I actually like Nickelback, but the way some people not only don't like them, but they hate them, their music. I cannot stand Luke Bryan's music. Oh, it is the epitome of everything is wrong with country music. Not hating on you, 454, but we just have to agree to disagree. I'm going to see Bonham Shadow. I'm going to Texas next year, if not for the Corona thing destroying next year. Okay. Well, like I said, there's plenty to see here, but I've just pretty much seen it all. My grandma has breast cancer, so I need some people to ask God to keep her on this earth. Jack Thornton. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Cancer is not our friend. Albert Maggiolo, shitter is full. That's right. Christmas Vacation, greatest Christmas movie ever. Bryan Adams, yeah, I like old school Bryan Adams. Corey Taylor, don't know who that is. That sounds like a modern country guy. I'm not sure. Dylan Nirvana, I like Nirvana. I don't know about Dylan Nirvana. Garth Brooks, The Dance, one of the greatest songs ever. Yo, what's your Instagram? Just my name, Caleb Leverett. Hey, what's up? Have you ever heard of Billy? You So Crazy. He lives in Texas. He's a YouTuber reactor. I don't guess so. Cheryl Wait. I don't. I mean, Billy. There's lots of Billys. Do you like the Backstreet Boys? Well, yeah, they're old school. They're boy bands as hell, but just for old time's sake, yeah. Do you like BTS the band? I'm not sure who BTS is. Gary Allen? No. Nope. Nope. He was one of the beginning. He was the beginning of the end of country music, in my opinion. He just, I cannot stand that guy's music. Again, maybe in real life as a person, he's a great guy. I don't know. And maybe a lot of these country singers are. I just don't like him. Green Day all the way. Love Green Day. From Nina Balagula. I had a question. Do you care? Give a shout out to my YouTube channel, Paint Drying 454. Sure. Paint Drying 454. Thanks for being here. Harv Potts, Caleb, do you ever watch The Three Stooges? Oh, yeah. I mean, they're just old classic slapstick comedy. Yeah, you got to love them. Blake Shelton, nope. No way. Well, good job. You said my name right. Nina Balagula. Thanks. I assume a lot of people mess that up. That's okay. People mess up my name sometime. Corey is metal Slipknot, but I was referring to the solo stuff. His song, Highway 666, is super reminiscent of The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I'll check it out. I know a little bit of Slipknot. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't dislike them. Nickelback, I love them, fellow Canadians, and they are hated here too. LOL from Cheryl Waite. I don't understand why people hate them so bad. I mean, it's like a cult of people that hate them. I remember back in the 2016 election, and no, I'm not going to talk politics, but there's this guy, a senator named Ted Cruz, who happened to be running, and he was doing these stops all over the United States. And there was this dude that would hold up this sign, and everywhere that Ted Cruz went, he would meet. He was already there at the entrance of wherever he's going. He'd hold up the sign that said Ted Cruz loves Nickelback. And it became this like sensation. He was the Ted Cruz likes Nickelback guy. I thought it was hilarious. Again, I like Nickelback, so I'm not hating on them, but I just thought it was funny. Nickelback, honestly, good. I just don't understand. Yeah, no, politics. Yeah, we're not. That's why I don't. I can tell jokes, but I'm not going to get into this guy's great, this guy's bad. Doesn't really matter. If you could ever meet a singer in real life, who would it be? Enya. If I could meet my favorite singer of all time, of all genres, it would be Enya. She's from Ireland, and there's something about her music that just resonates. I love Enya. Absolutely. I do almost anything. I might even drink a beer just to meet Enya. I love Enya. Enya lives in Castle with her cat. Maybe that's why I like her. I just want to live in an old abandoned gigantic castle with like 200 kitties. Enya is awesome. Only time. Ugh. I'm also a Deadpool fan. And if y'all have seen Deadpool 2, whenever the Juggernaut punches the bottom of the transport train thing and blows it up, and Enya Only Time comes on, my kids, I went and saw it with the boys, or I don't know if Parker was there, but I know Blaine and Hayden were there. And when that scene came on, they all just looked at me, and I was like, oh, it's just a beautiful scene. Yes, Caleb, it is mesmerizing. I fell in love with her. Oh, I love Enya so much. That whole entire album. Shit, what's it called? I've got it on my phone. Well, I don't know what I did with my phone. I've got it on my phone. I listened to that whole album, and sometimes just to go to sleep. Mickey Rose, right 1 minute we're talking about Ken Paxton, the next we're talking about sailing and music getting in my head. This is racing. It's starting to hurt. Sorry. Why are mods having a power trip? Well, they're just doing what I asked them to do. And if you're going to ask me about my kids or inappropriate questions about things, then I'm just not going to talk about it. And I don't even want it flooding the feed here. I feel like I could have a conversation with you all day. Big mouth bouncy. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I've ever gone 2 hours on a live. In fact, I got about 25% battery left. So I'm probably gonna have to get off, but thank you. I appreciate it. That was a nice compliment. Do you like glazed honey buns? When I was a kid, I did. I just can't eat that stuff anymore. It's kind of like those little Miss Debbie cream pies. I love them. I just haven't eaten them in years because when you get old, when you eat that kind of shit, it just sticks. Joshua Stubbs, Nickelback can't decide what genre he is. He plays 50% pop, 50% rock. He also starts beef with other bands and people, including Slipknot, Stone Sour, owned by Corey, and Corey Taylor himself. Maybe they do. I don't know. Um, like I said, I like their music. I don't like all of it, but I like a lot of it. Have you been to Austin, Texas? From Frank Gallagher. Frank, I just got back from Austin yesterday. I made my own Paxton for Prison rally. They're having some kind of rally for masks or whatever, and I just started marching with them and made my nice little sign. I didn't put it on. I went live on my Facebook, but I didn't go live on here. But if you find my Facebook, go back to this past weekend, and I was telling the cops, yeah, arrest your boss, arrest Ken Paxton. Of course, back then, a whopping 4 days ago, nobody knew what I was talking about because it wasn't mainstream. And literally, when I got back to my hotel, the Motel 6, the news broke that Paxton's in deep, deep shit again. And I thought it's hilarious. Thank you, Wicca. I do appreciate that. Do you ever see the Xbox 360 days? Do you ever just want to eat all barbecue wings in the world? Because I do. Yeah. So you mean just let the world go by sometime? Tyler, that's not very nice. That's a surefire way to get booted, being a prick. If you could have any drink but virgin, what would it be? Water. Water, water, water. I did, while I was in sailing school, I did have it was a canned drink, and I can't remember the name of it. I took a picture of it on my phone, but it was some kind of coconut water that was infused with carbonated water, and then only had light flavors of like strawberry or something like that. So there wasn't any sugar, but it was a carb. It tastes like you're drinking a carbonated like a Coke or something without all the sugar. That was real nice, Clark. Yours is a pina colada. If you like pina coladas, if you could, okay, I already answered that. I give the same message to everyone. Please stop asking about the kids. We already addressed this. If you want to updates on his channel, that's right. It's all on my channel. Pander B3R. I discovered a YouTube channel today with a video you made 7 years ago about your child standing up to his mom when you live with you. What happened? Okay, you're new, so I'm going to give you a pass. I'm not talking about that anymore. It's already on my channel. Frank Gallagher, are you sober now? 100%. Yep. As a matter of fact, in about just under 2 hours, I will be officially at my 7 weeks. If there's such thing as a 7-week chip, in about 2 hours, I get my 7-week chip. Love the song. Keep singing. Angela, bless your heart, but I'm not a singer. Dude, I'm not going to talk about Pornhub. What the is your deal, dude? It's just like dumb. Cheryl, wait, I don't drink water for me and love for our Canadian Tim Hortons ice caps. I'm not familiar with that. Tim Hortons ice caps. But yeah, I'm a water person now. I do drink coffee occasionally. About every 2 or 3 days, I'll make a pot. Applegate, are you taking It's complicated. Are you really drunk or not? From Harvey Beeks. I'm not drunk at all. I've been drunk a lot in the past, but no more. I'm supposed to be doing homework, but here I'm on a binge watching your channel. Kurwako Darliwal. Sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, but yeah, get your homework done, man. Akafik Razil, I'm doing well. I'm sober. I just watched the video about Parker and his mother. Okay, not talking about that. I will drink when I become 21 on July 17th next year, then never again. Harvey Beeks. Nothing wrong with that. Everything in moderation. I'm not going to fuss anybody for that. It's kind of a rite of passage. Get it out of your system, and I wouldn't do it anymore if I was you. Blue the Wolf, I wish I was drunk. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad I'm not. My dad is an alcoholic, so I like watching these. From Ellie Mertz. I'm sorry to hear that. It's tough. It's tough. Being around a drunk. I mean, even for someone who is a former drunk, I can't stand being around drunk people. Like, I cannot stand it. They just act so stupid. I met with a friend in Austin, and she had moved up north, and she came back down. Her daughter's with her. Well, she wasn't there, but we were talking, and her other friend came in, and she was so drunk and just wouldn't shut up. Like, it got so annoying. I just looked at my friend and said, I gotta go. I can't handle this. I'm not going to be around this shit. Y'all quick with the bands. Yep. My Whomping Willows are not messing around. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Becca and Miss Mary, thanks for sticking around. He falls over and everything and can't walk right. It's so annoying. It's hard to talk to a drunk about it. It's really hard because they get offended and they try to defend why they're drinking. And I only say that because I did it myself. But I know, I'm sorry you're having to go through it. It does suck. Crazy what a man will do to get out of child support. Ooh, this is going to be a good one from Sarah ERD. Crazy what a man will do to get out of child support. Parents that alienate the children from other parents should be charged with emotional child abuse. I can only assume, Sarah, that you're talking about me, that I should be charged. Here's the thing about child support. Modern America looks at child support as a monetary amount, and that's all. I just simply disagree with that. Child support is supporting your children. When you have your kids 50% of the time, or in my case with Blaine, he's legally in my custody. You just take care of your kids. That's just how it is. But bless your heart, Sarah. If you want to hate on me, go right ahead. I assume you're probably new to my channel and you watched one or two videos and it enraged you and you just want to spew your hate at me, which is fine. But do yourself a favor before you get ahead of yourself and jump to conclusions about me. You might want to finish watching my channel, and that way you'll get the full picture of what I'm about. And then again, that may not change, and you can just hate me for everything you just hate away. I'm used to it. Okay, Harvey, not talking about that. Just choose not to drink. Do not call yourself an alcoholic. I'm not. I don't view myself as an alcoholic, but again, by some people's standards, a lot of them being doctors, far more educated about that than am I. They would say that I am, but that's okay. I'm not tempted by it. I'm not interested in it. Let's see. I think they should stop turning off comments on videos featuring children. I think they should stop turning off comments on videos featuring children and children's media. Yeah, I got caught up in that. They finally turned them back on. All right, my friend, I have to get back to my homework. Good rest of the night. Stay well. Love from Boston. Good night, Nina. What are the rules? We can talk about just about anything you want. You can even criticize me personally, but I'm not answering questions about my kids, and I'm not answering inappropriate questions that you wouldn't ask somebody in person in front of a bunch of other people. That's pretty much the only rules. So do both. Give emotional support and child support. Okay, well, who's going to give me child support? I want child support. Somebody give me child support. Damn it, I want child support. Out of 13 years of being divorced, I've never received a dime in child support. No one's given me child support. I want child support. Give me child support. Somebody send me some freaking child support. I want child support. That's how ridiculous you sound. Do you like Josephine Baker? I don't know who that is. I'll give child support. Okay, I was actually being quite facetious. Ellie Mertz, I hate when people hate on you. You're literally a good role model. Like, stop. That's okay, Ellie. I thank you, but I'm used to it. People shouldn't judge. Sometimes I think people should judge. If you're going to judge somebody, make sure you know what you're talking about. I thoroughly enjoy answering some of the hate comments on some of the bigger videos, and it's obvious they only watched one and they don't know what they're talking about. Like today, I'm about to have to go because my battery really is getting low, but I would like to end on this. I got accused today of, and this person swore they'd done all their research on me, of threatening a judge, a sitting judge. And I just kind of toyed with her for a little bit, let her spew hate, and I've got you all figured out, Caleb Everett. You've threatened a judge, and I was like, okay. If I threatened a judge, which I didn't, never have, never will, then, and you, this lowly critic of mine, have figured it out, then you are far more diligent, and you should probably put in an application with the Texas Rangers and the FBI, whose job it is to diligently look into threats of public figures such as judges. That is a big, fat no-no, and if you do it, you don't get away with it. So this person who just, God, they claimed they had me all figured out. I threatened a judge, and it was quite hilarious. So I can't remember who just said that. You hate it when people criticize me. I've just come to laugh at it because it's just so ridiculous. I'm asking out of respect. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Harvey. Josephine Baker is the singer with the finger waves in her hair. It's not a surprise that I'm not familiar with that person. Some things I'm just not familiar with. Yeah, nobody owes anybody an answer. See you, Caleb, Wicked Rose. Much love. Thank you very much, and prayers for all you've been through. Thank you, Mary and Miss Becca. We'll have a good evening from Wicked Rose. Thank you very much. This has been really fun. I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but I've had a really, really good time. This is nice. I know exactly what is going on. My daughter-in-law is doing the same thing to my son. He has every right to see his son, but his mom acts like you. So his mom is encouraging his kids to go be with your son? You don't want to see, we don't want him to see your, I'm confused, Sarah. I've said from day one, and again, I hate to pick on you because you're obviously new, but I have encouraged my kids to live wherever they want this whole time, as long as they're happy. That's all I've ever encouraged. Live where you want to just be, live where you want to live. I don't care if it's with me, with her. I don't care. If you're happy being there, you're happy being with me. That's all I've ever wanted. And that's what I finally got in 2017. So, Sarah, if you'll do yourself a favor and not humiliate yourself and finish watching the rest of my effing channel, you won't embarrass yourself quite so bad. What is the cup you're spitting into? It's an old pickle jar. That's actually a pickled okra jar. And I'm trying not to gross everybody out because I know it's kind of gross to look at. Hey, Caleb, do you think we need a protest against the FTC to get COPPA out of YouTube? Maybe. That gets in. It's too late to talk about for me. I can't even. Uh, you're probably right. I'm just having a good time talking about music. Caleb, you need to take the mods out for coffee. They're on no BS. I respect that. Yes, I think you're right. I owe Miss Becca, Miss Mary, a lot more than a cup of coffee. I'll tell you that. All right, kids, I'm getting tired and my battery's really about to die. But Black Sabbath, 11 Black Sabbath. Miss Mary, Miss Becca hadn't seen Becca. I guess Becca had to go, but thank y'all so much for being the glorious, wonderful, whomping willows that you are. And one of these days, if I'm ever independently wealthy, well, I'll make sure to somehow to make it up to you. Thanks so much, and thanks for everybody who chimed in. Here's to being another 7 weeks sober and another year and sober the rest of my life. If you're struggling with alcohol, maybe we can do this more often. Maybe I'll do this on a regular, 3-month, 6-month deal. Have one of these chats. Okay, love y'all. Thanks so much. Don't hit your kids. Good night.